Here we are, 5-Play Friday. We're super excited. Let's get started. 5 plays? Yes. Stick around. Hey, welcome back to 5-Play Friday. My name is Greg Austin with The Better Official. We like to look at plays. We like to look at all the things, and we're going to get started right now. Let's look at our You Make the Call play. Play number 1. Backcourt violation ruled. Call correct, call incorrect. What do you have on play number 1? Put your ruling into the comments and stick around to the end of the video where we'll look at all of the things on play number 1. With that, let's take a look at our next play.
We've got Johnson and Burns, and then way over in the corner, we've got Brody McCarty. And this is Moret into the corner. And I don't know what that call was.
So he went out of bounds before he
sure.
came back in to catch the ball.
Eagle eye, Les Schroeder.
No, actually, I stole that.
All right, player leaves the court, returns to the court, first to touch the basketball, maybe, right? There's obviously things to learn from this play, but one of the great things about it is we've got a great example of the proper mechanics, even though in this instance, the ruling is incorrect. First of all, 9-3-3, player may not voluntarily leave the court. That means choose, hey, I'm on the court, but I'm going to run around outside to get to another spot. Does this player do that? No, they do not. They get too close to the end line, jump in the air, release a pass, and land out of bounds. This player has not voluntarily left the court, right? So that's our first mistake. But note that when the official does, the official focusing on this new rule last year gives the new signal, which is just in effect this year, of determining that this player voluntarily left the playing court, right? It's a delayed violation signal similar to a free throw delayed violation signal. And then when they make a ruling of the player returning to the court, they give the new signal that indicates that what the player did. Now, this play is ruled incorrectly. This player did not leave the court voluntarily, and also new this year case play that says if the player, let's say, had chosen to leave the court, come back on the court, in this instance, even then it would not be a violation. Did the defense have an opportunity to recover upon the player returning to the court? And the advantage that they would have gained from voluntarily leaving the court would be negated. So we have an incorrect ruling on this play, but we do have a great example of the mechanics that we would use. So it's great to see those in action, even if in this instance we got this play wrong. Now, last year, this rule was new. Officials were very focused on getting it right, etc., but very inconsistently and erroneously applied in many situations. One of them is players' momentum taking them off the court. This rule does not apply. Throw-in situations, this rule does not apply, right? And now we have this year case play that says it's even narrower than you thought it was, right? Player voluntarily choosing to run out of bounds and gaining an advantage. That is the key component. Right? In the absence of that, we do not have a violation. All right, we have a screener. This is the most extravagant, wide straddle, feet outside their torso example we've ever seen, right? Incredible. And of course, we know that a screener is only allowed to have their stance equal to their shoulders or a little bit more, right? Yeah. So what do we have on this play? We have a screen set in a position that is possibly illegal. Many officials deem it to be illegal. And we have a defender who contacts, pushes through the screen, and commits an obvious displacement of our screener. Is the correct ruling in this scenario? Our calling official rules this to be a defensive foul. Is that the correct ruling? And they also have the wrong out of bounds spot, but we're not picking nits here. Now look, we're 35 minutes into the game, this playoff game, right? And we don't know what we're trying to evaluate what our teams are doing, etc. We're getting settled into the game, and we have this play where it just like blows it up and knocks the kid out, right? So we have a new case play this year in National Federation of High School. A1 sets a stationary screen with their feet wider than shoulder width. And makes contact in the middle of A1's torso. Ruling, no foul since the contact was made in the A1's torso and the wider stance did not create an advantage. This has always been the rule. The case play clarifies that. The feet being wider refers to when leg contact occurs. Yeah. So this player sets a screen, is in position where they may be at risk if a number 4 blue had come across the leg and tripped or been knocked off balance, we would have an illegal screen. But since the contact is to the torso, this is a legal screen by rule, right? Important to know that. The case play clarifies it. And that's what we want. We want clarity. We want understanding, right? We see the extreme position. Many officials will argue that's illegal. That's illegal. He has there is a definition of a legal screening position, but the case play clarifies that when torso contact is involved in the play and not leg contact, the screen is deemed to be legal.
Overtime, Chavrin. Wilsonberger served back hot by Panisia. Corbett Euro. Goaltend. Ball's on the cylinder. Good call.
All right, goaltending ruled by the trail official on this play. Took me a while to figure out what a Wilsonberger is. And I think these days it would be a Spalding burger. All right, our trail official comes in with an emphatic basket interference call. Was this the correct ruling? Of course, our announcers, they don't know. They're calling it goaltending. Was the ball in the cylinder when it was contacted? Possibly, right? It appears that it was. It was going outside the cylinder, but technically maybe an inch or two of the basketball was in the cylinder. We are 2 minutes we are 90 seconds into overtime in this scenario. I guess my takeaway on this play would be, where should this call come from? Right? If you're the trail official here, you do not have the perspective you need to make an accurate ruling on this play. You can see that the ball is up near the basket. You can see that. And you can see that the defender deflects the basketball. But you can't possibly have a clear understanding of whether the ball was in the cylinder or not. So to me, becomes a trust play. If this is basket interference, do I trust that my center official is going to get the call? That they are doing what they need to do on this play? We've worked the entire game, this competitive game that's gone overtime. So that would be my main takeaway on this play. We react when we think we know, and we, in this case, proved right. Sometimes we are right for the wrong reasons. But we have to be aware of how the system is designed, where the call should come from, and recognize that we don't have the angle that we really need to be confident that we've made an accurate ruling on this play. That we can come in and be confident. And of course, the blue bench, everybody's like, and we don't want to react. Our official doesn't react to that. But, I'd say that wouldn't be my main takeaway on this play. Call proves to be correct by rule, but it has to be considered to be a guess in this instance coming from that angle, right? If we're like this, I can't tell accurately. Yeah, so that's our takeaway on a play like that. Trust your partner, trust your crew to do the right thing.
2:11 on the clock. We still sit at 40-39. Who inbounds that one? This one could be trouble. Oh, that should have been backcourt. I don't.
All right, that play, that one. Front court throw in adjacent to the front court. Thrower throws the ball to a teammate who fails to control the ball, deflects the ball, touches the ball. The ball goes into the backcourt, and the player is the first to touch. As our announcers exhibit on this play, wait, what? That's got to be, he touched it, right? There's confusion about the rule amongst the general population, shall we say, but we as officials obviously cannot be confused about a simple rule such as this. In order to have a backcourt violation, we must have team control on the court. Team control is established by player control on the court. When does this player gain player control on the court? When they pick up the basketball here. Now established. Player control, team control on the court. This is a simple play, but it's a great example of the play that's often on rules tests, etc., where a throw-in teammate muffs or deflects the ball into the backcourt and is the first to touch, etc. Of course, we know that during this throw-in, if there was some subsequent action here on the court, players competing for the ball, the offensive player pushes, or etc., it would be team control foul by rule. But that's not really part of this play. This play just is a great visual example of the play scenario that is so often brought up to basketball officials on rules tests and scenarios, etc. Obviously, we have to understand this rule completely, and it's really a straightforward rule to understand. All right, a messy situation. Our crew is all over it. Once things break out, Yeah, possibly some things we could have done prior to it breaking out. But let's look at all of the things on this play. This is a mess. All right, we have a decided game. It's a 30-point game in the third period. Our home team in white is crushing our visitors. We are in game management mode in this situation, right? We want to get obvious stuff, recognize in a non-competitive game, right? Is there any taunting action by our team that's up? Is there any frustration action by our team that's down, right? So we have action when this ball is inbounded. Let's take a look at that. Right, so our ball handler hits the opponent in the head with the basketball. Our opponent then retaliates with a hand check foul, right? If we got either of those things, we'd be way ahead of the game in this instance, but we do not. We do not take care of business here, and we miss that, and now we're going to get retaliatory action. We have a player who heat-seeking missile comes in, body block on the player, okay? We need to determine what kind of foul this is. Is this a common foul? Is this an intentional foul? Is this a flagrant foul? We have the white player stands over and taunts. We have a player in green come in and dead ball contact bump our taunting player. We have a technical foul assessed on our player here, and our official here assesses a second technical foul on green 23. Right? So this is a wild scenario how we're going to adjudicate this play. So it's great to see it on video here so that we can, when something like this occurs in our game, have a little head start on how we're going to have to handle all of this. Right? We get that contact, no call, that foul, that taunt, that bump, that taunting, our 23 and 11. Our crew does a really good job here in a lot of different respects of, being aware of the things that are going on this play. And in the end, we're going to have to get together as a crew and say, what do we have? What kind of foul was that on this ball, on the white 24? To me, that's a flagrant foul. And I've got support. We'll see that in a bit. We have two technical fouls on green 23, right? How are we going to sort out all the technical fouls? How are we going to adjudicate the play in the end, right? So we have a live ball foul, and then we have dead ball technicals, right? So we're going to have to put that all in a pot and figure we're going to assess a foul in this instance. To me, it's going to be 2 free throws on the ball. And then we have all these technical fouls, which can potentially offset. And that's going to be a challenge because we're operating in real time. What do you have? Who do you have it on, etc.? We don't have the luxury as high school officials to go to the monitor and start writing stuff down. We don't have that advantage and say, what do you have, right? Our center official has 2 separate technical fouls on green 23, right? That player is going to be disqualified. White 11, I think only has 1 technical. And we have, of course, an injured player. It looks like he sort of hit his funny bone or something like that, right? So in a scenario like this, we have to come together as a crew. First of all, get those, we got a lot of tension in this game. Get them separated, go to the bench, figure out what we have, assess it all. We have a live ball foul. We have to penalize that. Then we have subsequent technical fouls during the dead ball. We have to sort those through, figure out what the penalties are, if there are any possible disqualifications of players, etc. And then we need to communicate very strongly with our table and our scorer what they have to put in the book. We have this on this, this on this, this on this, this on this, this on this. Team fouls need to be correct, etc. And obviously, as we go forward in a game like this, our antennas are certainly up, and we're going to call this game very tight because we have some issues on the court between these two teams. All right, so that being said, I found a similar play. Let's take a look at this play from the NBA and see if we have any similarities and what we could take from the adjudication of the play.
After review, Grant Williams accelerates, makes a significant impact to the dribbler. A non-basketball play, potential for injury. Because of these reasons, the play has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty too. Oh, shit!
All right, friend of the show, James Williams, with an excellent explanation, right? These are the reasons. This is a non-basketball play, intent to harm, right? That means we elevate to a flagrant foul in this instance. Okay, so on our initial contact by white 24, flagrant foul is certainly on the table. In my judgment, the fact that it is a non-basketball play, intent to harm, excessive contact, all of these elements combine to create a flagrant foul situation on that play. After what we've seen in this episode, we all deserve a little palate cleanser. Let's look at one now.
Watson come with a ball screen. Kent now will pull up, knock it down. 10 seconds to go. Bulldogs lead. Briarcliff has a timeout. What are they going to do? Here we go. Right into Klein Hesseling. 3 seconds. He'll take the three. Hits it right with 0.8 to go. And they will have to go the length of the floor here to win it. Carter Kent will throw it in. Baseball pass down there to Smith. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Tristan Smith!
Your crowd goes wild! The game winner, chicken dinner! Length of the floor pass. Tristan Smith catches it and puts it in.
Buzzer beaters, we love them. We love them. It's such a fantastic way to end the game. And we have a great scenario here. We got great position by our center official in that transition play. We've got two sets of eyes on that shooter. Good in that situation. That was the ball game at that point. We've got a lefty, possible quarterback, gets a look, throws a perfect pass. Touchdown, baby. Touchdown. And of course, we have our player, blue one, black one. Have we all not been black one at some point in our lives? Jostled and dejected. Indeed. Indeed. So we love end of game, buzzer beaters, last second shots, team getting a great look and missing. Great way to end games. And super exciting. We love to have those in our games. We love to have competitive games. We love to have the feeling that in this competitive game, this crew, our crew, did a great job in this game. Hey, back at the start of the show, we had that play, that backcourt play. Let's take a look at play number 1. All right. So informal mechanics here in this scrimmage activity, right? Key components to making rulings in this scenario is determining when did the player gain control of the basketball. How does a player gain player control on the court, which of course is a necessary component before we can have a backcourt relation, right? So let's take a look at the play and determine when this player gains control of the basketball. All right, so the ball is inbounded and it's deflected by the player. Does this player have player control at this point? Clearly they do not. That's easy, okay? They then reach for the basketball. Now, many officials say this player just dribbled the ball, but this player did not dribble the ball. The act of dribbling is a player in control of the ball, pushing the ball to the floor, batting the ball to the floor, etc. This player is trying to gain control of the ball. Many officials make a mistake in this scenario of saying, well, they batted it downward, right? They are dribbling. This is an effort to control the ball, gain control of the ball, and then dribble. Okay? So let's look. What is the status of our player here when they catch the basketball, right? If they have not yet dribbled, then catching the basketball here or putting two hands on the basketball. But what is the player's status? This player has backcourt status. They are in contact with the division line, which is by rule part of the backcourt. They release the ball with backcourt status and dribble the ball into the front court. This is a legal play. The key components here are determining player control and not being deceived by a bat of the ball in a downward direction when the player does not yet have control of the basketball. This is an area that many officials could improve upon, right? They look at it in simplistic terms. Well, he batted the ball downward, and it was in an effort to put it in front of him so he knew where it was going or this, that, and the other thing. He does not yet have control of the ball. That's my judgment on a play like this. We like looking at plays just so that we can refine our skills in developing those, recognizing those things when they happen on the court so that we can make more accurate rulings when we're on the court. Hey, thanks for joining us today on 5 Play Friday. Much appreciated. We have for you additional video content. We'll see you in the very next video. Take care, everybody.